Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I did something dumb and I bought more paints. So I constantly say I have too many paints, and I really shouldn't have bought this, but it's too late. It's here, so let's do it. I've been kind of obsessed with this palette since it came out, and it's not even so much the paint, it's the tin. I have a very large Schmincke palette, and I work with a very small selection of colors at any given point in time, so the big palette just takes up a lot of space. And for some reason, the moment I saw this little jewel box, I fell in love with it, and it was just one of those things that stuck in the back of my mind of, I need this. I love the writing on it, the typography, the shape, the size. It fits 12 half pans, which is perfect for me, and I'm just a little obsessed with it. So when Jackson's had a sale recently, and I had some points at Jackson's that translated to dollars off, I got it, and my thought was, I have a lot of these colors already, so I'll just take them out, either give them away or store them as like future use, and replace them with the same ones that I already have. What I didn't realize at the time was this is actually not the same color set I already have. So then of course I had to unwrap them and try them. And so instead of just getting a new case with some backup paints, I have new paint. So some regrets. I've also never had a tin that had those little types of clips that hold the half pans in place. So that was new and exciting. And then I thought they would help lock in the middle row, but the middle row it's really tight. Like, I was momentarily concerned you couldn't fit additional half pans in there, and you can. It's just really snug. So that was a little weird, but they do seem to stay in place quite well. So this set, this is where I'm starting to compare, and I do speed it up just to go through this quickly, just so you could kind of see that I have enough paint from Schmincke already. I really didn't need more, but I was going through and trying to map it to see where these colors were located in my existing palette, and then realized most of them weren't there. So left to right, top to bottom, the first one was yellow chrome hue, which was new to me, followed by vermilion, which isn't new to me, but I only have it in a 5ml tube, and I don't have a half pan of it to replace with. I have it in travel sets, and it is running a little low, so I just went ahead and opened it rather than creating a new half pan that wasn't going to be all the way full anyway. The ultramarine finest I have, I absolutely love that color, so I'm perfectly okay with having more of it. Then we have Viridian, which, yeah, for some reason I'm like, oh, of course you have Viridian. No, I have it in Michael Harding, and it was new to me then, and somehow I forgot. The ochre is yellow raw ochre, I think. I thought it was the same ochre I already have. It's not. This one's a combination of PY42 and PY43, where I think the other one is just PY42, and it's a little fainter. So I'm not sure I like it quite as much, but it's here, so I'll use it. And then surprisingly, raw umber, which seems, for a palette that only has 8 colors, it seems almost redundant to have the two of those side by side because they're not very different. So I haven't used raw umber before. I know it's a really common color. I've never used it, so I don't use it in this painting. Today I just thought I would do a sketch, and I meant to use every color, and I completely missed that one. Then we have English Venetian Red, which I use all the time. Great color. And then Schmincke Payne's Gray, which I thought I had. I have Schmincke Payne's Blue Gray. And actually, I really like this one, so that was a very pleasant surprise for this particular palette. So yeah, a lot of earth tones with only a little variety there. The bottom row, definitely going to be switching that up in the future. In the middle row, I did illustrate that the 4 do fit. The ones I have in there are primarily from the Schmincke Naturals collection, because I figure if we're going with a retro palette, it makes sense to go with some of the other older colors. I don't think I said that. So the box is called a jewel box, and this collection was inspired by a catalog they found from 1912. So it's retro in terms of what their prior offerings were back in 1912, but it's not retro in terms of old pigments. So you're not going to find like lapis lazuli or madder rose or like those older pigments. So it's retro, but not as retro as it could be. But I'm adding some of those. Madder Lake, not Madder Rose. Madder Lake is in here, Still Negron, and some of those older ones. But for today's video, today's sketch, I'm only using the ones that came with this palette because I did want to try them out in isolation. And so one thing worth pointing out as well is that this set does not come with a cool red, and I think they did that intentionally because, oh, I didn't look it up in advance. So they came out with one additional entry into the retro line, or one that I know of. There may have been more, but it's a tube watercolor. It only comes in tube, not a half pan, as far as I'm aware, and it's Cochineal Red. I'm probably butchering, like I'm trying to remember what the word looks like and also how to pronounce it. But it's the red, it's a cool red, but it's made in the traditional manner, which is bugs. It's made from bugs. And I already have a conflicted relationship with bugs. I don't get along with insects, so I don't want to give them any more reason to dislike me. So we're going to stay on a neutral playing field, and I'm not going to use a paint made from their little buggy carcasses. So yeah, I didn't get that. I have enough cool reds, so I didn't feel the need to add an extra tube of watercolor to my collection. And I'll use my Madder Lake in the future. So yeah, definitely felt that missing red here. I use a cool red all the time, and during the painting process for this, I really, really felt its absence. And if nothing else, that's what made me struggle the most and dislike the painting process for this the most. It was the lack of that cool red. So I like Vermilion. It's a gorgeous warm red, but it just, this isn't my usual palette. I'm sure someone who's more familiar with something like the Zorn palette can work with this very effectively. I believe Zorn is, I don't remember what yellow. Is it a cadmium yellow? It's vermilion. An ochre. Oh no, it's not a cadmium yellow. It's an ochre. Yellow ochre, vermilion, black. I'm blanking. Sorry. It's a different, I haven't used it. I know I should probably do a proper Zorn palette challenge, but I haven't done it. And clearly I didn't do research or write a script before this video because I'm not prepared to speak on this at all. But yeah, if that's your type of limited palette, this little tin might be perfect for you. But for me, like I said, this is really about the box. I partly want to have something just smaller for my Schmincke set on my desk so I can go to it easily and put away the big palette and then switch them out as the mood strikes, and then also throw it in my purse and take it with me. I'm very excited. I'm going to Dragon Con this year. It's the first time I've gone to Dragon Con, and I haven't gone to many conventions. Like I used to go to them more often, and it's been a while. So, I did go to Tampa Bay last year just to meet Brandon Sanderson. I literally went in there for Brandon Sanderson and then went home, which was kind of absurd. But anyway, I'm going to Dragon Con, and I really like the idea of just having this palette with me to paint when the mood strikes, if the mood strikes. And if it doesn't take up much space. It's a very compact palette, and it won't be a problem carrying it around if it doesn't get used. I am hoping to go to the Georgia Aquarium. One of my bucket list items has been to see the whale sharks. And yes, I am a little torn because zoos do make me feel torn, zoos and aquariums, because animals in captivity, but also whale sharks. So conflicted, but I want to see the whale sharks, and I'm hoping to paint them on site. So we'll see how much time I have. Yeah, so how do I feel about this overall? Like I said, not really my palette. If I had a cool red, I think the experience would have been a lot different. If you've been here before, you know I love Schmincke paints, and I find this particular set a delight to use. The yellow ochre, the yellow raw ochre, is a little less impactful than I'm used to, but it's not bad. It's just, I think it's actually a little bit more transparent too, but I'm not positive. I haven't done a lot of testing yet. Obviously this is my first sketch. The vermilion, as vermilions typically are, is also doesn't have the strongest mass tone, but I did use it a bit in this painting and I did like it. It kind of replaced my cool blue and it worked for me. But otherwise I kept the sketch pretty simple, and a lot of that was because I'm having a busy weekend and I got mad at my lack of a cool red, so I wasn't enjoying it as much and didn't want to spend too much time on things. So that's fine. Like I said, the palette's all set up for my next painting. It has a cool red in there now, so I'm ready to have a little bit more fun with a more traditional palette for me. Traditional for me, more of my typical palette. I do have, like I think I said before, I do have vermilion, and I never used it quite as directly as I have in this. Like I'll use it in mixes, but I really love the vermilion. Like that glowing red under the chin is really, I love that. That's like my favorite part of this painting, is that reflected light there. So I really had fun with the vermilion, so I can't complain too much. I mean, they're good paints. I enjoyed using them. I understand what they're going for with the retro. This was a palette they used to sell. Just not my color selection, and that's why when I buy paints, normally I put together my own palette because I know what I like. But yeah, definitely going to use this box a lot. I'm very excited about it, clearly. For the rest of this painting, I tried to add some like shadows and build up the shirt, and then I realized I just wasn't going to enjoy the process, and I went straight into doing the plaid because the plaid was going to cover up a lot of it anyway, so it wasn't worth stressing out and not having fun if I could just wrap it up and move on. I'm also working on another painting right now that I want to get back to. So this was kind of quick. I am spending more time on another painting. It's not a big painting. It's not a hugely planned one. It is a bit more planned, but basically this goes back to Dragon Con. A lot of people give out things there, whether it's with this swagger seek where you hide things and people find them and take them home, or just doing little exchanges with people. And I wanted to make a sticker. I've never made like art merch before, but I thought it would be fun to make kind of a theme sticker to give out. So being that it's Dragon Con, I wanted to do a dragon lady, and I am approaching that one a little bit more consciously, like not just doodling. I did a digital sketch and then printed it and went over it pencil and continued working. I just realized I like pencil more. My tablet got hot and I was not liking the digital sketch. And then I transferred it, did some more work to clean it up, and now I'm painting it. So it's been a different process for me, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it's going very slowly. So hopefully that'll be done soon and I could get stickers made in time for the con and hand those out, because I think that'll be fun. I hope people like them. People like free stuff. It's all good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for this video. This was a pretty quick sketch, quick and dirty. And yeah, not much else to it. I really, yeah, don't have too much else to say about it. I do love that black though. The Payne's Gray, it just makes a really good dark color, and I love that. But yeah, that's all I got. So I hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves, and thank you for like you had a choice. I took the week off last week because of 4th of July, and it was very loud here, so it was nice to be able to just not worry about the video and relax and take care of the kitties. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks, back to my normal schedule, and I'll see you then with another video. But until then, take care, and yeah, bye.